Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's Jay from Team DMA. So today is Wednesday the 22nd, 2023. And we're gonna go ahead and check out some Dark Magician as she landed as the #1 most hated card on the list. And we're gonna go quickly. I did this video like once or twice, but there was editing issues like the audio and I don't know, just a lot of stuff started happening, so that's weird. So we're gonna do it again, attempt it one last time. If it doesn't work, then I'm not gonna upload it anymore. We're gonna go quickly through this video because I don't want to spend any more time on it. Dark Magician and support, we got Salvation. It helps you bring Dark Magician monsters from the graveyard to the field. FTK, OTK, Links, Fusion, you name it, Synchro. It doesn't matter, just a bunch of bodies on the field. So Magician Souls helps to utilize it to draw into the deck. You see me do the 15 draw first turn with the 5 in the hand. That equals the 20. The opponents play like an Ash. They play Infinite Impermanence and nothing stopped me. I just draw and draw and draw and draw forever. Even when they hit you with draw, it doesn't matter because this card and also the Magician Souls takes from the deck and doesn't draw, it sets it. So it's good because if they draw you, you can still activate it and it'll set the Eternal. And like I said, I don't wanna discuss too much and go on to 2-3 days talking about these cards. So it's just gonna be quick. And like I said, I've done this video several times. I don't want to come out like I'm being short or upset. It's just I'm really trying to get this video done and then just published, and that's it. So next card here would be the combination. I don't recommend it. It has too many requirements, and if you take a look at the text on it, if you take a look at the text on the card, it does let you know that you need to have the simultaneous action of either a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard for it to work. And then all you do is negate cards. And then if the card is destroyed, you can pop a card on the field. We're going to be going on to the next card. The Magician Souls. So Magician Souls is definitely probably the only top tier card in the, it's probably the only top tier card in the deck. People can argue, but it dumps the Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl into the graveyard. Definitely good there with the Dark Magician, and it has play and sequence and combo lines with the Dark Magician Girl, because this is all this video is about. It's about Dark Magician and Dark Magician cards in support, and what the Dark Magician does is actually a lot more than you think. Tier 1, Tier 0, YCS profiles, you name the deck, undefeated, 10, 12 negates, or even more. I've done some decks that do more. Dark Magician Girls in all my decks since 2019, and it works out fine. So yeah, this is definitely a go-to card if you're playing Dark Magician Girl in your deck. So we got the Dark Magician, the Dragonite. We're going to take a look at the text. We already went through this. So basically, this is the only card that I feel like the deck actually needs an upgrade, like a support. If we had a card like this, the card would have to have 3 effects. Discard 1 card to special summon a spellcaster from either opponent's graveyard, or 2, discard a card to negate a spell trap or monster effect like Dragoon. And then the last one, if it had an effect of, you would have to choose one of them. The last one would be to destroy a card face up, like it already says. If it had that, and then it could stay at 2,600 of attack, or like 2,800 like the Dark Magicians. The card can also be called Wallace on the field, this, or in the graveyard. The card becomes Dark Magician Girl. That way you can rotate it with Magician Salvation, and that would definitely solve the problem with a lot of things, Dark Magician deck, and having another boss monster rivaling Dragoon. The only difference, it would not boost, but I mean, this is all in theory if they make it, but it's not really fantasy, because if you look at the Dark Magician, it doesn't have like some tier 1, tier 0 support like Dark Magician does. The Dark Magician Girl has this, I believe, If anybody knows of another boss monster for the Dark Mission Girl, but this is the only one that I know of. Dragoon doesn't qualify because you need the Dark Mission, but this one definitely, and like I said, it would have to have those three effects. You would have to select one of the three. They would all be quick play. Discard a card, special summon from either graveyard, or discard a card, pop a card on the field, like it already says. And the last one, discard a card to Omni Negate, basically once per turn. And it would be quick effects, so you can do it in your turn and your opponent's turn. And then the card would be called Dark Mission Girl on the field or in the graveyard. That way, Salvation can trigger because the trick with Dark Mission, the Dragon Knight, it says the same thing that in the field or in the graveyard, so you can use it with Eternal Soul, but Salvation would be cool to utilize the Dark Mission Girl with this, because even if they banish a Dark Mission Girl, you would still have this and it would count, right? Because that's what happens. And it's the same thing for the Dark Magician. When they banish your Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight still counts as Dark Magician, so you don't have to worry. And then if they get out of the Dragon Knight, it doesn't matter, right? Because you still have a Dark Magician in the graveyard to summon. And when people don't know, you have more value on the Dark Magician than you do in Dragon Knight. Why? Because with the Dragon Knight, as soon as the skill drain is activated, and there is some cards that don't are not preferable for Dragon Knight, but their difference with Dark Magician, like Apprentice Illusion, you can boost the Dragon Knight, right? But you can boost Dark Magician. We're gonna move on to the next card. The next card on the list is Naruto, the Moral Leader, so you can make it with 2 level 6. This is some more support, because you have to remember, keep in mind, I'm just discussing what the community doesn't realize, that Dark Magician Girl does have support, but the Dark Magician community doesn't know how to play the Dark Magician deck. That's why they out her, but there's a lot of materials you can use to kind of help you neat tricks out of the head, like rabbit out of the hat, that the Dark Magician does apply when people don't realize. When I play it, the only thing is when I make Naruto, I always discard Dark Magician first, because you wanted that Soul Servant to be active, right? Because if you discard the Apprentice and Dark Magician stays in the material, you won't be able to utilize this. So you want to start off by discarding. You've seen me set up the board like 6 negates and 4 interruptions, which is that's how I murder all the tier 1, tier 0, and the YCS first place. There's too many negates to deal with. This is definitely a go-to. Sometimes if you don't have a Dragoon out on the field, I use this one, and people are like, yeah, but what about monster effects? Well, sometimes I'll use this one first to negate Spell Trap, and then when they bring out the what is it called? When they bring out any monster effect, if it's too dangerous, I'll change to skill drain. And people are like, yeah, but then you shut up Naruto. That doesn't matter. The right hand is available. You have the floodgates and you have Circle and Eternal. This is just there to facilitate putting up something up that can negate, like a feather. What is it called? Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched. There's so many cards that this card can negate. You can negate the continuous traps like the Solemn Judgment. Anything that's a spell trap that says you cannot respond to it, you can negate it with Naruto. It's a great card. It's a great card to go into even before you enter Dragoon. And yeah, you just need 2 level 6. Usually Apprentice and the Dark Mission Girl will do it. And we're going to be moving on to the next card. So from here, we're going to be looking at the Secrets of Dark Magic. You already know what this card does. It just facilitates fusion and summoning. And after that, we're going to... oh, I think I missed reading the text on the box. You can slow the video down and then go watch the text box again. And like I said, I'm trying to go very extremely fast because I'm tired of making this video again and again. And then the next one after this is Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is excellent. The $10 deck that I built, you're actually playing 1 or 2 of these, and you're opting out not to have the Magician Souls because it's too expensive, and then the Asian in English is illegal unless you're playing with your friends. So you want to play 2 or 3 of these, and what it does is it can draw any card that lists Dark Magician in its text, and Dark Magician Girl count. So this card needs to be in your Dark Magician deck or Dark Magician Girl deck. And you can draw it and you can use to chain combos and a lot of cool things with this card. And even if this card was the card that Konami listened to the Dark Magician community that was crying about the brick hand, this is the solution. If you play Dark Magician and you still have a brick hand it's a clear indicator that you don't know what you're doing and you should choose another deck. It's not that I'm being a jerk or mean, but I mean, if you have an issue and Konami fixes it and you still have an issue, then it's not the cards, it's you. So we're gonna be moving on to the next one. I believe this card also does the fusion into the Master Chaos. But yeah, this is pretty cool. We're gonna be moving on. Next card on the list, I believe, is Dark. You control Dark Magician, destroy all face-up cards, and we're gonna wait for the text. I don't want to color wrong. But yeah, basically this card is used Dark Burning Attack. This card is used together in combination with Dark Magician Girl, and like I said, reminder, this video is Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician Support, just to show you that there is some available stuff out there. I don't recommend it, like the combinations and other cards that you're gonna see in this list. I don't recommend it because you do too many combos just to get it negated. Like you special summon something or normal summon something, then this and then that, and then you play this card and then they negate it. There's too much sequences, too much going on just to get negated. A lot of people that show you these cards resolve, like the Dark Burning Magic, like which we're entering right now, and Burning Attack, Dark Burning Attack. In reality, like they'll show you to make you think, oh look, they're badasses, they're like the OCG, they're destroying everything with the card. But if you pay closer attention, they're not dueling against YCS first place national decks or regionals. Neither first place or zero. I'm sorry, tier 1 or tier 0. These cards are not sufficient. There's too much requirements. If you don't meet the requirement, the card is dead, and that's why the community loses so much. If a card reads you have to have something to have something, that's called a requirement. And depending on the requirement, it decides whether it's a brick or not. So you draw your first hand, tier 1, tier 0, they have 6 to 7 negates. Yes, the Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, and this card is like, okay, even if you get to summon them, they're going to negate this card. There's too many negations. You can't clear the board. I don't recommend this card, but for fun in the Rogue, because there's levels, right? Rogue, you can play all these cards, and then regular meta, you can, and then once you go to tier 1, tier 0, you can't. I'm telling you what I recommend and what I don't. And so far, there's been two that I don't recommend. This one, any of the burning of anything, the burning magic, the dark burning. This is the dark burning magic, and then when the regular burning attack for the Dark Magician Girl, I definitely don't recommend it. The combination, too much requirements. So we're gonna be moving on to the next. Here we have another card. This card is actually meant to be played in combination with either Floodgates or the right hand or the left hand, because this card should have had that effect in it. It should have had the first spell and trap that your opponent plays gets negated. Because what I found out was not only do you negate it, it resolves for the effect. I'm the one who discovered that like 5 years ago. I'm the only one that's playing the Dark Magicians competitively, and you see me kill Runic and all sorts of decks. It works excellent against Labyrinth, and then you can stop like what is it called? You can stop the evenly matched, infinite impermanence. So many cards you can stop by just adding right hand or left hand together with this one, and it feels like a proper boss monster, negating the first one, and then still, even though you negated it, it resolves to draw, and you can draw into something good. And yeah, this is a card that you can use with the Dark Magician Girl. Obviously, a lot of these cards are for the Dark Magician as well, but like I said, this is solely only focusing on the Dark Magician Girl. Definitely a card you can play. If you can boost this monster, like get it past 3,000, you have a formidable guy, and then his floating effect that when he gets popped, you can bring the 2 out. So it's okay. We're gonna be moving to the next card. So here we have the right hand and then the left. You can slow down the video and read the effects if you're wanting to. Like I said, I'm just trying to speed and finish this already. I don't want to spend more time on it. The restage is a broken card. You can actually play it with the rod link and then bring rod back out. Even if the rod was negated, it doesn't matter. You crawly and then from there you go into the spellbook engine, or you can link for a popping effect with just about any card like an Azalea or the Nightmare Phoenix, or you can use it in combination with the Bestial. And you're like, how? Yeah, because you're bringing bodies and then linking, and the cards get to the graveyard and everything triggers effects, and you discard. Also, you can use the effect to discard this card and it'll automatically search a card. So it's a really cool move that I do all the time. So what happens is I discard this card and then it'll search if I want the right hand or the left hand. It's pretty broken. When you use the best utilizing for it, and I created the combos like a 9-card combo from like 2 cards, which is the Souls. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comment section and I'll make the updated version. It's the Magician Souls to Dark Magician. If it has a circle, you banish, get Best of Both Worlds, Magician's Restage, bring it in defense, and then draw, search with the Omni Negate, and then they link. And usually from there with the Bestial, you pop, and then the Azalea that comes out pop, or you can go into a Crawly and draw them from those cards. You draw more. It's like very nasty, broken combos. You end up with like an ugly board. And when I played with the $10 deck, I beat tier 1 decks with this combo. Every time you see me, like I'm losing, like my opponent is 2 ahead, I'm gonna lose the duel. This is the card that makes me win the duel. Every time you get like, whoa, what a comeback. Every time you see my duels and you say, what a comeback. Like 9 out of 10 times, this is the card. And you can see the effect. It is broken. People told me like, try, why play that? Why not play, what's it called? Monster Reborn. That goes to show you the Dark Magician community doesn't know how to play Dark Magician, because when they negate the Reborn, it goes to the graveyard and it's dead. This one, no. When they negate it, when it goes to the graveyard, it still resolves. So it doesn't matter if they stop it or not. You're going to get what you want. And that's the difference between tier 1 and these rogue cheap decks. The tier 1 and tier 0, when you negate cards, they still resolve. They have multiple effects, and that's what you want to add into the deck. And I discovered this 5 years ago. A lot of these combos, you only see it in my channel, nowhere else. And that's going to be it for all of the cards. Just going through them really quick. You can slow down the video. We're going through the very beginning. And hopefully you liked the video. This was Dark Magician Girl oriented only. And then I gave you the support. I gave you some combos. I know it's extremely fast, but hey, I covered most of the things. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments down below. And this was Dark Magician, which landed in the #1 hated spot. And I just showed you she is excellent. She's cute. She's a good waifu. I like her a lot. I've always played her. She always helps me one way or another. And all we need is a boss monster from the Dark Magician Girl that is compatible or equal to Dragoon. And if it is, Dark Magician can be upgraded so much. And like I said, the card could be like I said, it could be a discard for a special from either graveyard, or discard to pop a card which already has that effect, or the last one could be discard to negate, Omni Negate. And after that, it would be broken. Everybody would be happier and Dark Magician would come back into all of the decks. Hopefully you liked the video, you guys. This was a Dark Magician support, Dark Magician oriented, and I just showed you so many things about the Dark Magician. If you didn't know any of them, it was an eye-opener to you. If you did know, it's a refresher. And then if you want to see any more combos with the Dark Magician Girl, I do have them here on my channel. No other channel does reviews this powerful on these budget cards, especially the Dark Magician Girl. Even though she's hated, I should just show you how she's a good monster. A lot of things in text that you can use with her, what cards you can and can't use. So with that having been said, you guys, Dark Magic Attack.